Welcome to my channel. You are going to find here a lot of different videos that will give you insight, perspective, help, and hope. Visit me at valeriesilvera.com and check out my blog, sign up for my newsletter, join the Trauma Disruptors, and check out my 9 Weapons of Hope, my most powerful tools for learning how to live a courageous life. We have a private group. It is our Trauma Disruptors community, and we would love to have you join. Remember that whatever you're going through, you're not alone. I'm standing right there with you, and I'm here to link arms with you and help you disrupt your trauma for good. Hey, fellow warrior, are you feeling like you really don't have much to offer? I know that when we've been through a lot, when we've walked through fire, when our hearts have been ripped out of our chests, or when the hits keep coming, we lose our confidence. We definitely lose a lot of, if not all of, our self-worth. But the bottom line is, the fact is, the world needs what you have to offer. And I'm going to give you 4 tips for embracing your gifts. And it's really going to challenge you. You're going to be challenged to dig down and find them, because you do have gifts. You have lots of them. But like I said, if life has knocked you down, the beast, as you staying down on that mat, whispering in your ear and screaming in your face that it's too late, that you've blown it, you might have a hard time acknowledging them. And some of them are just locked away. They're locked away somewhere deep within your memory bank. But they're there. You know that they're there. So it's time for you to dust off your magnificent talents and abilities and put them to work, right? Listen, the world will get by if you don't do this, okay? If you say, yeah, never mind, Valerie, the world's going to get by without your gift or talent. But why should it? Why should we have to miss out on the amazing person that you are? I'm not saying you have to go out and create some big invention or start a nonprofit, or come up with a piece of wisdom that lasts through the ages. Although I bet you do have a lot of wisdom that could last through the ages. I'm not saying you have to do anything on a grand scale. So don't let that scare you away from this message. Your gifts and talents are so incredibly valuable. Okay, so what if, when I'm talking about your gifts, what if your gifts never set the world on fire? What if they set one person's world on fire? Isn't it worth it then? Isn't it worth it for you to get out of your own way, to dig down and find that, to figure out how to build your confidence back up and put those talents and abilities to work? I mean, how would that feel at the end of your life to know that you worked hard? Because it's going to be hard if you've lost it all, right? If you feel like you don't have it, if you feel down on yourself, it's going to be some work to get yourself back up. I'm not going to lie to you about this. I've always said, if you're looking for a quick fix, I'm not your girl. Because I don't think there's such thing when it comes to self-improvement and shedding shame and guilt and building back our self-confidence and creating courage over fear and on and on. There's no quick fix. But won't it be worth it? Now imagine if you were at the end of your life and you were able to run 2 different movies. The first one is the one where you did what I'm suggesting. You embraced your gifts and put them to use. And you just found that one person. And you get to see the story. Even after you're gone, you get to see the deposits that you made and how it impacted that person. How that person impacted maybe even more than one. A few more people and a few more. And you start to see the trickle down, the domino effect, long after you're gone, of this one person that you set their world on fire. Then you get to watch the other movie. The other one is where you didn't do that. And I don't know what that would look like. I don't even know what that would look like. Maybe the movie is just a blank screen, a void. Imagine the emotion you would feel if you were able to look back on those 2 movies. So you see, the self-improvement thing is not just about self. It really isn't. It's about I believe, what we owe the world. We're not here to just live and die and have jobs and retire, and we're here to make a difference. We're here to live it all, leave nothing on leave it all on the playing field. We're not supposed to take it with us. We're You're supposed to leave everything out there. So that includes your talents and abilities. So it might take you a little minute to get on board with this and then put this to work. I'm not going to solve all of your gift and talent ability issues here in this one message, but I'm going to give you these 4 tips, and if you could embrace them, it will help you to embrace your gifts. The first one is to develop what you got. Develop what you've got. Because what often happens is we sit around wishing and hoping that we had different talents and abilities, right? It's like, okay, God, really? You gave me these little stupid things, right? I mean, I'm not saying yours are stupid. I'm saying that's how I felt before. You gave me these little minute, inconsequential things. That person's got a beautiful singing voice. That's what I'd like to have more than anything as far as talents and abilities. I want to be a singer. I can't sing worth crap. So why did I have to get this gift? Why do I have to get the gift that is developed through such tragedy and sadness and heartbreak? Really? I mean, what about these people who go on to become amazing chefs? Not saying that they haven't had to work and struggle through things too, but why are their talents and abilities just kind of fun? How about people just entertain for a living, play games for a living, right? I mean, gee, I could have used those talents and abilities. It seemed like it'd be easier, right? We've got to develop what we've got. I think that we can probably gain new talents and abilities that we didn't know we had, and that would be super cool to do too. What I'm saying is, if it's just not your talent or ability, don't sit around wishing, hoping, and dreaming. Take the ones you've got and develop them, because you never know how important they might be. The second thing kind of ties in with the first one, which is don't compare yourself to others, right? I mean, comparison is the thief of joy. It's the thief of peace and happiness, contentment. So don't allow that comparison tendency. We all tend toward this, especially when the shits hit the fan. We really tend toward comparison, and I think we have to rein that in, or we will have a difficult time developing our talents and abilities. When I think about comparison, okay, so I think about the gift, the talents and abilities that I have that I'm using in this messaging, in this business, in what I'm doing now, that, by the way, I never imagined. Although looking back, I can see how things were put into place to help me develop myself to this point. And I'm always learning, but I do see that now, but I didn't at all at the time. But on this comparison issue, let me take just public speaking for an example. There are so many gifted public speakers, far beyond the gifts that I have, but I got to do it my way, okay? I mean, I've got to do this thing my way. It would be so easy to compare myself to that speaker, for instance, and say, you know, I'm going to start talking like them. I'm going to put an inference on a word in that way that they do it. I'm going to change the way the tone of my voice. But then that wouldn't be me. That's not to say that I wouldn't look at some other speakers and say, oh, I kind of like how they do a certain thing that fits with me. And I could develop my talent and ability further. I think that's really important. But I'm not going to try to be like somebody else. You know what I mean? I'm not going to try to be somebody who's just very quiet and soft-spoken, because that's not me. So develop what you've got and don't compare yourself to others. This third thing is going to help you a lot. These 4 tips I have are so interrelated, they can almost be one tip. The third one is to remember that nobody's perfect. And that goes back to comparison, doesn't it? But that's what we do. We go and we look and we say, oh, I don't know. I'm just kind of, got these flaws and I don't do this that well. But, that person over there, my gosh, they're amazing. Let me tell you something. I have taken some time, in and out throughout however many years. I will watch another public speaker or somebody that has some kind of a platform, somebody who is considered an expert, somebody who is endearing to a lot of people. And I sometimes look at them and I think they're not that good as far as, being so polished, so buttoned down, so together. They misspeak sometimes. So what? That's how we all are. And you know what's interesting? It seems to me that the people that are more like that are more endearing to people. So yes, we should try to improve ourselves and we should try to become better at whatever it is we're doing. Always, we should always be striving for excellence, but never perfection. There's no such thing as perfection. You're never going to get there. So if you think you're going to have to try to be perfect at something before you open yourself up and allow the world to see your gift or talent, you're never going to do it. It's just never going to happen because nobody's perfect. Not you, not me, not that person out there that you're pointing your finger at and you're looking at, you think's perfect. They're not either. They might look like it on the outside, but trust me, they're not on the inside. And then the fourth thing, again, so related to the first three, is to stay in your lane. And I kind of mentioned that before. Stay in your lane. Develop your talent and ability in the way that works for you. Don't try to be like somebody else. Let's say your talent or ability is cooking, okay? Let's take it up right off the public platform stage. Let's say that your talent is cooking, but you haven't had a lot of confidence in it. So, you just kind of put yourself down and you don't put yourself out there and you don't try new recipes and you just kind of, you never feel like you're good enough because you're watching these professional chefs, right? There we go on the comparison thing. You're watching these professional chefs. So you never think you're quite good enough. I'm not going to be able to make that kind of recipe, so I won't try to make something like that. Okay, let's not forget that these chefs that you see on TV have all these things prepped for them. They have all these amazing pieces of equipment. They have staff. They have people prepping for them. That's a different world. That's a different world. You cook those recipes in your world with your love in it for your family, the people that you love. Stay in your own lane. We've got to be careful we're not trying to stick that round peg into that square hole or vice versa. And sometimes we do that. We try to fit ourselves into somebody else's mold or what we think other people might like about us. And let me tell you something. This can even happen to you just in your everyday life. And especially for those of us who have any kind of a public social media platform, it can be easy for you to look at what other people are doing that seem to be successful. They're doing that. I think I'll go do that too, because that will really make me successful too, right? Nah, stay in your own lane. I don't know when you're going to get there, but enjoy the journey. Don't hold back. Dig down deep. Find the courage to put yourself out there. You're going to fumble. You're going to stumble. You're going to maybe what you even consider failing. It's all a part of the learning process. Don't keep the incredible, extraordinary you hidden from the world. The world needs what you have. So you get out there, start right now embracing your gifts. Your story matters, so live it courageously. Visit me at valeriesilvera.com and check out my blog, sign up for my newsletter, join the Trauma Disruptors, and check out my 9 Weapons of Hope. Remember that whatever you're going through, you're not alone. I'm standing right there with you, and I'm here to link arms with you and help you disrupt your trauma for good.